let's meal prep. So, like I said before, I only meal prep for about 4 days. I don't like going more than that. Makes me feel weird. But you can go longer than that. You can go longer than that. I would go up to 7 days, but I probably wouldn't go over 7 days if I were you. So I put off the meal prep video because I thought meal prepping would be a little boring. You're just gonna watch me cut up some food and cook it. So I went on Facebook and asked friends and family about dieting mistakes they've done or they've witnessed. So as I'm meal prepping my food, I'm going to be talking about some of those. Let's wash our potatoes. Now let's cut our potatoes. So on Facebook, I asked, what are some dieting mistakes you have done or have seen other people do? And first response was from my brother. He put the GIF from Waterboy of the coach saying Gatorade, which is very important. So a lot of people don't get enough electrolytes on their diet, being it salt otherwise. Me personally, I take a sugar-free Powerade to work every day because I work in the elements, so I sweat, get very hot. I would recommend that, especially if you sweat a lot. Getting those electrolytes really help. It also really helps your mood. If you've been on a diet and you notice yourself being cranky, check your salt levels, electrolytes, and all that. Probably could help out a lot. After that, he wrote, yogurt and salad, specifically people loading up their salad with dressing and croutons thinking they're eating healthy. This is a big one too that I've noticed. I've done actually. Back when I was losing weight the first time, I would eat these salads, iceberg lettuce salads, thinking I was eating so healthy when I was drowning it in these dressings. You have to read your labels, make sure you're not eating a bunch of stuff you shouldn't be eating. So make sure you're not overdoing it with the dressing too. And I think he said yogurt because there's some good yogurt out there. Like I eat Chobani personally because they don't add sugar and they use live cultures of probiotics. But there's a lot of crap out there too. Have you seen those yogurts with the candy on top? That's not healthy. Eating candy is not healthy. So make sure you're choosing your foods wisely and reading your labels. After that, my friend Haley said, people that think eating more fruits and veggies is always productive towards weight loss, but most of the time they're eating high carb and natural sugar fruits and veggies are continuing to stall the weight loss. I am in agreement with this. Maybe not so much the vegetables, but mostly fruits. I have seen people eat these fruit bowls every day, and also fruit smoothies. I don't understand it. Yes, if you're making a vegetable smoothie and you add in a banana, or you add in an apple, or you add in berries, not all three of them at once, I think it could be very good for you. But when you're putting bananas, apples, berries, pineapple, you're putting all this fruit into a blender and you're blending it up, all you're making is a sugar smoothie. It's too much sugar for one serving. There are some companies that make vegetable smoothies, and if you actually look at the label, there is a ton of sugar in them. Really. Check them out. Again, read your labels. So I completely agree with her. A lot of people do tend to overdo it with the fruits. Sometimes the vegetables too. I could see some vegetables being overeaten and not helping you, like potatoes. So what else do we have? This is a big one. My friend Jessica said, not eating enough and sending your body into starvation ruining your metabolism. This is something that I have dealt with firsthand. When I lost the 100 pounds the first time, let me tell you what my diet consisted of. I would wake up and eat 2, maybe 3 eggs. Sometimes I would take out the yolk. And with turkey bacon, probably like 2 or 3 slices of turkey bacon. That was my breakfast. No salt, no seasoning, no anything. And for lunch, I would eat protein shake. That cheap protein that I would buy from Walmart. Not very good, if you ask me. And that would be my lunch. And then for dinner, I would eat a chicken breast with broccoli, sometimes brown rice. So, all in all, I was maybe consuming 1,000 calories if I was lucky. That is very, very unhealthy, and it sure enough sent my body into starvation mode. Yes, I lost 100 pounds, but then it stalled out. I got down to like 215, somewhere around there, and I could not lose any more weight. I could not run any harder. I could not eat any less. I could not work out any harder. I could not lose the weight. So that is a very, very real thing, and you have to be aware of that. Make sure you are eating enough calories. I see a lot of diets where people think they can just eat whatever they want and still lose weight, or just eat too little. Eating salads every day, it's not gonna work. And after that, my beautiful wife Kendra said, not drinking enough water, thinking diet soda is okay because it has 0 calories, assuming aspartame in general. Aspartame is in general, which is very true. So I'm a big advocate of not drinking soda at all, even diet soda. That stuff is poison. I wish people would stop putting it in their diet. I wish people would stop drinking sodas altogether. To me, it's just as bad as smoking. Sodas are the worst thing you can put in your body, yet people do it regularly. And the aspartame, speaking on that, aspartame itself, I don't think is a problem. You can cite the rat study where aspartame caused cancer, but if you look closer into the study, you can see that they pushed aspartame so much into those mice that something was bound to happen. You could do that with water and kill a rat. So, I don't think aspartame itself is bad, but it can have some negative effects. So, aspartame is low calorie, which is good. No calories, great. But the thing is it triggers your body's hunger response, and you're not giving it anything to feed. So if you drink a drink that has aspartame in it, you're gonna feel hungry later because your body doesn't have the calories to process what it's doing to your body. Basically, aspartame can keep you hungry. So it'll cause you to overeat. So as I think it's good, it can be useful. I don't think it's a good crutch. Like when I get home from work, yeah, I drink Crystal Lights. They have aspartame in it, but sometimes it's nice to have a break from water when you've been drinking water all day. All right, my potatoes are done. I'm gonna go ahead and mix these up, and then we'll move on to some more dieting mistakes. With these potatoes, they're just regular white potatoes. I was doing the sweet potato for a little bit, but I didn't like it too much, so I switched back to white potatoes. I was doing rice, but rice just wasn't agreeing with me. So, potatoes it is. This is a recipe. It's olive oil. This is a recipe my wife came up with. I think it was sheerly by accident. I think she just threw some ingredients in a pan and baked some potatoes, and it's freaking amazing. So, put olive oil, Italian seasoning, and garlic salt. Super simple, super delicious. Highly recommend it. And then we mix it up. Salt. Another thing people miss out on their diet. People get way too crazy about not eating salt. Your body needs salt. Eat salt. Himalayan salt. Iodine salt. Your body needs iodine. So let's look over some other, took down a list of things that I wanted to talk about. Not eating enough, covered that. Not checking labels. We covered it, but let's talk about it a little bit more. So, back in the day, I used to eat peanut butter. And I would buy a specific brand of peanut butter because they did not put sugar in their peanut butter. Now, I don't eat peanut butter anymore. I don't like peanuts. They don't agree with me. And I don't really recommend them because they're a legume, not a nut. But anyway, if you do decide to eat peanut butter, check your label because they do add some extra sugar in there. But anyway, back to the brand that I was talking about. So I stopped eating peanut butter for a while. And when I was out shopping with my wife one day, I was telling her that there was this peanut butter that I used to buy that didn't add sugar, and it was really delicious. Well, turns out that that company decided to start putting sugar in their product. It was the craziest thing. People like me could be so dependent on a certain brand to do the right thing. And then find out that brand is doing the complete opposite of what you're wanting them to do. You don't even realize it, so you have to check your labels every time. I don't care if you've bought it 100 times. Check your labels. Alright, those are done. Let's put the steaks on the grill. I'm gonna go ahead and put my potatoes in the oven because they take forever to cook. Just realized you guys just saw me dump olive oil all over those potatoes. I've been doing this for a while, so I kind of know how much to use. But if you want to measure out your olive oil, it's probably a good idea so you know exactly how much you're eating. I just kind of eyeball it. So this week I'll be eating ribeye. So the whole reason I wanted to start doing the dieting mistakes is because I was talking to a friend at work and he was asking me how the diet was going, which I'm sure you guys are curious too. I had to take a break from my diet for a week or two because I cycled onto keto, doing a keto diet, but I was eating chicken on keto. I've never done that before, but it sounded like a good idea at the time. Let me tell you right now, it is not a good idea. It is not a fun time. So the concept of keto is healthy fats and protein. Well, chickens do have a lot of protein, but eating chicken breasts have nearly no fat. So I don't think my body was getting enough fat, and I started to feel real shitty. I know what carb flu feels like, and it wasn't carb flu. I just felt shitty. I was in a bad mood. So after like 3 weeks of doing that, I was tired of feeling like crap, and I just wanted a cheat meal. So I went to Five Guys. I got a burger. The next day, I felt so amazing. So that was my aha moment. I need more red meat in my diet. So I'm back to steaks. Not doing the keto thing, obviously, with the potatoes, but it is what it is. But this is what I'm doing now. So, ribeyes, salt. Like I said, season your food. Your taste buds will thank you. And your mood will thank you. Everything else will thank you. So, season. While I'm seasoning these, I'm going to go over another one. Missing micronutrients. This is basically what I was getting at. So, I was probably not getting enough iron from the red meat or something. I wasn't getting enough of something. And that's what was causing my bad mood. And a lot of people on diets, they don't eat enough. They don't eat enough variety. So your body needs a lot of micronutrients. I'm not talking about macronutrients. I'm not talking about proteins, carbs, or fats. I'm talking about your vitamins. There are certain vitamins your body needs to sustain itself. That was pepper, by the way. And we're going to add onion powder to survive. And if you don't get those things, your body will let you know that you're not getting enough of something. So whenever you're dieting, make sure you're getting enough micronutrients in everything. We talked about not staying hydrated, but it's good to mention again. Garlic powder. Make sure you're drinking water. It's recommended a gallon a day for each person. A little bit more if you're sweating a lot, up to a gallon and a half to 2 gallons a day. That's hard to track unless you're carrying around a gallon jug or just counting it all day. So, paprika. So, my recommendation is just drink water all day. Stay hydrated. You'll feel better. You'll have a lot more energy too. Let's flip these over. Alright, a big one. Diet fads. This is one somebody asked me recently, because I was telling him I was going back on keto, and he asked me, do you think keto is a fad diet? To me, a fad diet is a diet that cannot sustain a lifestyle. So, can you sustain a lifestyle on a certain diet? If you're doing lemon water all day, every day, that's not sustainable. You can't live off that. But there are certain diets that I think are sustainable. For instance, keto. It's a yes-no thing for me in keto. Yes, it's a fad diet because keto is a lifestyle. If you want to be successful on keto, you need to run it like it's your lifestyle. Because as soon as let me start again. You're not teaching your body how to eat properly. You're not teaching yourself how to have good habits on keto. You're just trying to lose some weight. You can't eat high fat, moderate protein, low carb all the time. Most people can't do it. And as soon as you stop doing keto, you're going to put a lot of that weight on. Trust me. It happens. Happens every time. The best thing you need to do is find a diet that is sustainable as a lifestyle. Vegetarian and vegan can be sustainable. They do miss some micronutrients, but they can supplement those things, and it can be somewhat of a sustainable diet. So I don't think those are fads. So stay away from fad diets. Intermittent fasting is not a fad diet. It's a way of eating. It's teaching your body good habits, and that's what you need to be learning, are good eating habits. Diet sodas, we talked about those, but I feel very strongly about not drinking diet sodas. Don't drink diet sodas. Stop drinking sodas. If there's any takeaway you have from this video, it is stop drinking sodas. Stop. Drink water, Crystal Light, sugar-free Powerade, Gatorade. So many options out there. Stop drinking sodas. Alright, and another big one is not staying consistent. This is one big one that I see a lot. I see people eating healthy for like a day, maybe a week, and then they just fall right off. Or they have a cheat day, which leads into 2 cheat days, which leads into 3 cheat days, which leads into them not being on their diet anymore. It all harkens back to teaching yourself good eating habits. A diet is not something to do momentarily. It is something to do for a lifetime so you can build a healthy body. Alright, I'm going to pop these on the grill. Meal prep tip. This is a thermometer. You stick this side in your meat. You plug what temperature you want your meat to stop cooking at. And as soon as it reaches that temperature, this thing starts beeping, lets you know when your meat's done. You go take it off the grill, and it's perfect 100% of the time. This is a meal prepping life hack. I would definitely recommend getting one of these. This one was $15-20 off Amazon. Definitely check into those. Those are pretty thin steaks. I'm just gonna eyeball it, but meal prep tip Number 2 is this is a pressure cooker. It has a setting for rice. You put however much rice you need in there, it cooks it for you, lets you know when it's done, and it's perfect every time. Definitely look into getting one of these if you cook a lot of rice. Just pop the asparagus in there. Olive oil. Again, I'm just gonna eyeball it. These are pretty thick asparagus, so I put a little bit more. Garlic salt, just so they don't taste too bland. And then we toss. I'm gonna let everything cook. We'll be back when everything is done. So everything but the potatoes cooked fairly quickly, so I'm gonna go ahead and just stick them in my prep bowls. Now, I figured this would be kind of boring, but some people like to see meal preps and stuff like that, so figured I would do something different and hopefully give you a little bit of advice on weight loss. Pretty good stuff, huh? When my potatoes get done in like a million years, I'm just gonna throw those on top of this. And this is my meal prep for the next 4 days. Like I said, I only like meal prepping for 4 days. I don't like going more than that. I don't mind going to the store and buying stuff every 4 days. Not that big of a deal. That way everything is somewhat super fresh. So, these are my meal preps. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, stay strong, mind, body, and spirit.